Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to begin shortly. Thank you for tuning in to TD Fans Talk, home of the real Miami Dolphin fans. Exciting, exciting, exciting season ahead. Make sure you stay tuned for the off season. Make sure you hit that like button. We will be going live shortly. Shout out to the Mod Squad. What's up, AFC Dolphins? I see you. Make sure y'all hit that like button. We're almost at 100 people and we'll get started. But make sure you hit that like button on your way in because everybody is not getting the notifications. But YouTube starts to send them out when you hit the like button. All right, we are about to get started. It is 9:30 Eastern Standard. Punch that like button, ladies and gentlemen. We got 92 people logged in already and only 52 likes. Hit that like button. Shout out to our Facebook family. What's good, Justin? I see you, man. Appreciate you, Ty. No, this is not the same as earlier. We're going to be covering some additional information. What's poppin', Bleezy? I see you. Everybody who donate to the channel, thank you so much. You can also check out the Cash App and the PayPal as well. Appreciate you all. There we go. 4 more people and we'll get started, ladies and gentlemen. Punch that like button. Appreciate you, Bobby. I see you, Bleezy. What's good, G Will? Fins up 74. What's up, man? All right, y'all, let's do it. What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to TD Fans Talk, home of the real Miami Dolphin fans. We are live here on this beautiful Monday night, getting ready for the draft. That's what everybody's been talking about the last few weeks. It's draft season, ladies and gentlemen, but we got some more inside news that we want to talk about with the Miami Dolphins. Earlier today, we did a stream. I left off with the subject of Jerry Jones and the Dallas Cowboys owner needs to chill out, wanting Kyle Pitts. He is a huge advocate for the team getting Kyle Pitts, but he's going to have to make heaven and earth move in order for that to happen and potentially move up to 4. And I really, really, really hope that doesn't happen. But either way, we've discussed this several times. No matter what, the Miami Dolphins are in prime position to get a quality player who can come in and be a potential day one starter and help contribute to this team in so many ways, whether that be the tackle in Penei Sewell, whether that be the receiver and Chase, or even Smith, Waddle, any one of those guys. But Pitt seems like he's the Miami Dolphins fan group favorite, and I like that because it's finally a smart move. But you know what? Before we get started, I got to say this. If Pitts is on the board at 6, it's so Miami Dolphin-like for us not to select him. Here's the crazy thing. I believe that there's like 80% of the Miami Dolphins fan base that want Pitts. I really do believe we finally have an overwhelming favorite pick from the fan base. But it's so crazy that when we finally have some unity, which is rare, I am promise y'all, unity in the Dolphins community is rare. When we finally have an overwhelming majority of unity, we might just look up and it just doesn't work out. You know what? Let me stop. I got to stop being negative about it. I got to be very positive and hopeful that that doesn't end up being the case. Then time will tell. We shall see. All right. We shall see. But what's up, everybody, man? Here we are on Monday night. How y'all doing? How's everybody doing, man? I hope you're doing great, you and your families. It's nothing but love coming over here from TDPHINSTALK. Me and my family, we love you all. We appreciate your undying support to the channel and the things that we're trying to do over here. I hope that you're seeing many blessings in your lives. And if you aren't right now, they are to come. And I'm saying that and I'm claiming that, all right? I am claiming that for you and your family and just everyone's well-being, man, because again, we're dealing with some times where a lot of crazy things are happening, but at the end of the day, we're our own community, we're our own family. So shout out to you all. Pat yourself on the back, clap it up, whatever you want to do. Just know that you're loved. And every chance we get, we can come off and have a live stream and just hang out with each other and talk some football, man. And sometimes this is the escape away from life. Sometimes this is that relief, something you can enjoy before you got to get back at it tomorrow or the next day or whatever it may be. So I'm glad I could provide that type of energy for some of you all. But I see the comment section is going. Let me read a few chats before we start our subjects. Let's see here. Let's see. We got on TD. Do you think we stay at 6 or trade back? I don't know, Bobby, because I think we stay at 6, but if the right offer comes, it's Chris Greer. He's going to make the move. Whatever's best for the organization. Carolina still want Deshaun. Carolina wants Deshaun. Miami wants Deshaun. There are several teams that still want Deshaun. What's going on with Deshaun? They're keeping a close eye on to see what the outcome is because from a football standpoint, they don't care nothing about all this stuff that's going on. And I'm just telling y'all the cold, hard facts of the matter. When it comes to football, they don't give if he finds himself out all of this and settle all of these claims, he will be traded before the draft and or after, depending on how long all this stuff takes and what the league comes down as a ramification. And that's just the reality, all right? All right, so TD, I have been blessed and I hope can bless your I can bless your life, my friend. Vic, you always do in more than one way, man. So I appreciate you. And your wife, who is always doing what she has to do to serve our communities. We love you and your family, bro. Real talk, all right? TD, if Pitts and Sewell are both there at 6, who you taking? I'm taking Pitts, but you can't go wrong either way. So in that sense, we're blessed, all right? We're blessed, all right? It's Tua's fault. Oh Lord, here we go. What's good, TD and everyone? How y'all doing tonight? Chef Jew in the house. We got some big things coming, courtesy of Chef Jew. All right, so y'all stay tuned. We'll be announcing those in the near future. It's gonna be exciting. Y'all gonna love it. I promise y'all. All right. TD, would you be happy with Chase? Yes, I would be happy with Chase, but I wouldn't be happy with Chase if Pitts or Sewell is on the board and we took him. But I'll be happy with whatever we do, even if we did that. But it wouldn't have been my preference. But we got to move on. Like, it is what it is. Just like, I wasn't a Tua guy, and I'm on the record saying that, but we drafted him. It is what it is. All right? Got to move forward. TD Fans Talk, do you see the 2021 NFL draft hats come out? I'm thinking about getting one. I haven't even checked into that. It's probably been about 3 to 4 months since I've even been on my merch game. And I'm going to be quite honest with you. I'm probably not going to get a draft hat. I'm probably going to wait till about August and then get back on my merch game as far as, going to get my, Dolphin gear, and stuff like that. So I haven't been on it lately. I'm usually constantly on it, but I've just been, low key lately, Let's see here. What else we got? TD, when is Madden coming back? Soon. I got the thing is I want a PS5 and I ain't got one yet. And then I ain't trying to be up in these bidding things getting one. But I got the, Xbox One, whatever the letter behind it. I got that, and I got Madden 21. I've played it twice, but, I'm on a MacBook Pro, so I got to see if I can get the Xbox, app thing on here so that I can stream it. So I haven't worked through that yet, but it'll be coming soon then because we are in the off season. Probably May. Okay, that'll be more of a firm answer. All right. I don't want Deshaun right now. Well, I don't want him right now either. I need some of this stuff to clear out and have more clarity in what's really going on. But we will have those answers. All right. Aquavision with the donation said, TD, always a good stream. Man, that's love, bro. I appreciate that, and I always appreciate you being here with us, rocking with us every chance you get, man. And thanks for showing love via donation. You keep the lights on over here at TD Fins Talk. All the lights, as you can see. Ooh. Oh, man. TD. Oh, I already read that. All right, man. So, TD, what you mean by Stephen Ross divorce? So we're going to talk about it. All right, so let's dive in. Let's go ahead and get into the news, and then we'll have an open forum. I can answer questions. And since you brought up Stephen Ross's divorce, let's go ahead and get that out the way because, and some people are like, why are you doing news on that? Because it's news. Our owner, and this is news, our owner, Stephen Ross, is getting divorced from his wife. If I'm not mistaken, they had been married for 18 years. They had been married, I believe, previously before that, both of them, and they both have their own kids, but they've been married for 18 years. I think they're both in like their 80s and stuff or something like that. So, but the good thing is, with this divorce, it is amicable. It's on good terms. It's something that they both felt like was necessary. There's no issue. They both love each other, but they decided to go their own ways, and, Stephen Ross, 18 years, and, he's parting ways with his current wife. As you all know, Stephen Ross has about $8 billion, and the reason why I really wanted to bring this up, because it is Dolphins related, it's good to know. Let me say this because, you hope that people don't get divorced and you hope they live together forever. But one thing I can tell you is the good thing when I read about this situation was the fact that it's on good terms and they both feel like it's something that they wanted to do. It's not like a mean-spirited situation. It's just what two grown people decided to do. So they're getting divorced. And, they're both moving on with their lives, doing what they want to do on their own personal level. So that's a big ups to both of them, divorcing on these type of terms, So it is what it is. Somebody said TD, his wife is 55, LOL, not 80. Oh, well, he's 80 something, if I'm not mistaken. But his wife is a lot younger. She probably, you never know, want to live her life a little more and things like that. Who knows? And big ups to Stephen Ross, $8 billion, and he had a prenuptial agreement. So $8 billion, and he had a prenup. So he has a prominent New York attorney, and she does as well. And they estimate that she'll probably, have a divorce settlement of about $100 million, and the highest end will be about $200 to $300 million. Her leaving the situation. So $8 billion, he hand off $100 million up to $300 million. Both sides win. So it doesn't look like we're gonna have a owner who's mad, angry, sad, depressed. Making decisions with the Dolphins, go for broke, and, just going crazy, doing all kind of crazy stuff. Because this is nothing really to be heartbroken about because they both wanted this. And Stephen Ross is more focused on the elections that'll be happening in New York really soon anyway, because he is coined to say that this election in New York is going to frame the future of New York residents, and he's one of the number one people playing a role in the elections that'll be happening in New York. Most of the citizens feel like they were slighted by the last person, and Ross feels the same way. All right. But anywho, it is what it is. As you all know, Stephen Ross is a 95% owner of the Miami Dolphins, and he bought the team back in 2008 for a little over $1 billion, and it is worth a lot more now, probably triple at this point. So huge investment. And it is what it is. So we've gotten that out of the way. I wanted to get that out of the way. That's what's going on with our owner, okay? The owner of our team. All right, so moving along. The Washington Redskins have made it known. First of all, there's a lot of reports coming out that the Washington Redskins. Why I keep saying Redskins? I can't get it out of my system. The Washington football team. Okay, so y'all forgive me if that offended anyone. Out of anybody, it should offend me. So and I ain't offended. But Washington football team. All right. It's been a lot of reports saying that they love Trey Lance. They love Trey Lance, and they are trying to figure out a way to move up in this draft. The problem with moving up in the draft for the Washington football team is they pick at number 19. From my understanding, they got like 2 first-round picks this year. But they pick at 19. And even those 2 first-round picks won't be enough. It won't be enough to move up to where they could possibly get Trey Lance, depending on where he goes. So, if the Washington football team moves up, they're going to have to give up the future. But there's been conversations that they may be willing to, with Ryan Fitzpatrick at this moment being the bridge quarterback. So think about it, to move up from 19 to 4, 19 to 5, or 19 to 6 if he's available. That's a whole nother haul that's sitting out there. And then you have to guarantee that your guy is available. So look for the Washington football team to be the team that makes a draft day trade. It's not going to happen before the draft, ladies and gentlemen, because if they move up to 4 and Trey Lance goes at 3, they're in trouble. They move up to 5 and Trey Lance goes at 4, they're in trouble. They move up to 6 and he goes at 5 or whatever, they're in trouble. They are in trouble. So, on draft day, if he is on the board at the 6th pick and Washington football team calls, I want to ask y'all a question. If Washington calls, matter of fact, I got to look up this draft, which picks they have. Y'all give me 1 second. Y'all give me a second. I got to look this up. All right, here we go. It's pulling up, man. The answer is no. Y'all ain't even heard the draft situation yet, and y'all talking about no's. Come on, man. Hold on. Give me a second, all right? Give me a second. All right, let's see. Washington owns the 19th overall pick in the upcoming draft. It's a great position to be. Man, y'all give me a second. They're not telling me. Hold on. I'll get it, y'all, because I want to know what all capital they have. All right, here we go. Let's see. All right. Oh, so it isn't this year that they have the two picks. Yeah, it doesn't look good. So what they would give up is a 2021, 2022, 2023 first round pick and a 2022 and a 2023 second round pick. Would y'all take that if you were the Miami Dolphins? So now you're picking at 18, 19. Then you got 2 first rounders next year and 2 second rounders. You got 3 first rounders and 2 second rounders the year after that. And then you got 2 first rounders and 2 second rounders the year after that. Is that something that you would be willing to do? That's a lot of draft capital, y'all. Shout out to the homie Andres with the donation. Said the answer is yes, CD. We can rob one more team. I mean, let me say that again. That's 18 and 19 this year. And we still got our 2 second rounders. Right? That's next year, 2 first-round picks and 2 seconds next year. And in 2023, that's 3 first-round picks and 2 seconds that you have total if you're the Miami Dolphins, if you made that trade out of 6 to 18. So every year you got 2 picks, and 2 years from now you got 3 picks in the first round, and you got 2 second rounders every year for the next 3 years. Something to think about. Something to think about. Would Chris Grier actually make a move like that? For them to move from 19 to 6? I would. I don't care what generational player is there at number 6. That's too much capital to turn down. I would. I would do it. Because let me say this, I'm telling y'all don't have to listen to me, but the way our team is currently constructed, we're contenders. In the draft, they didn't even start yet. What we've done in the offseason, we already ready to contend. I do it. Shout out to the homie Ball Game in the building, man. If you're free, yeah, let me know. He said you'd be crazy not to. I do it. I love Pitts. I love all these guys, but I do it. They want Trey Lance bad. But everybody's saying they need to trade with Atlanta. And I'm sitting here like, it could be any one of these teams where Trey Lance is available. And I'm going to tell y'all, whether y'all would do it or not, Chris Grier would do it. You still got the 18th and the 19th pick. You still got 18 and 19. You still got an opportunity to get a good player on the O-line and a running back, or a linebacker, or a corner, or edge rusher. Matter of fact. But now here you are with a great, think about it, y'all. Here you are with all this draft capital once again for the future while you're still making your team better. And on top of it, you're just hoping that the Washington football team is Washington is probably going to flake out next year anyway. Even with Ryan Fitzpatrick, man. The only reason they won a division was because the whole division sucked. If Dallas do what they got to do and ball out, they're going to win that division. They're going to win the division. Washington can very well be a bottom 10 team next year. We still be back in the top 10. Could very well, and don't let them end up starting Trey and he struggles like rookies do. What was Joe Burrow's record? The Cincinnati's record. What was the Chargers' record? Even if they good, these guys, they ain't got that. They don't win early on because the team around them ain't ready. Now, Washington do got a good football team, though. But come on, man. They barely won that division. What, they had 7 wins or something like that? Maybe 6. I don't even remember. Somebody said wasting time, not leaving 6. Open your mind, JJP. Talk about a waste of time. If somebody offered you the next 10 years of their first round pick for the 6th pick, or is that wasting time too? So stop. There is a price that ain't wasting time. And honestly, the price that I just gave you was more than enough. More than enough. I think we get caught up in the now too often. We get so caught up in the now so often that we can't even be patient for the future. We can't even, see the bigger picture for the future. We get caught into what we can have now versus the more we can have later if we're just patient. If we're just patient. And that's something that, Us as Dolphin fans, that's what we do. That's what we do. We just so focused on what, like, think about it. I love them. They all sexy mocks and stuff like that. Dolphins pick at 6. Dolphins take the 18th pick and a second round pick, and they move back in the top 10 and take another stud. Then they take next year's first and another second, and they get back in the first and pick up the running back. Like, I like all these little scenarios, but they're all, we want it all now scenarios. Like, we want to go for broke so bad and have no insurance for the future. We have that itch, that bug to do that every time. But Greer out here making smart deals that, like, think about all the deals Greer has made in the last 3 years. And Dolphin fans, be honest for a second. How many of them have been criticized to where he needed to be fired, and then all of a sudden we turn around and we're like, man, he should be the GM of the year. Do I need to go back to the Laramie Tunsil trade? 90% of the fan base? Greer needs to be fired, man. You finally get a great player, the best player on the team, and you trade him away. Oh, we suck. We'll never do anything right. And that one trade got us in the position we are now, just sitting all high on the horse. We just high on the hill, like, yeah, we got this, we got that. You know, we can get Pitts with 6. All of this talk. We had the number 3 pick, y'all. We had the number 3 overall pick, and all of this was from Laramie Tunsil, who most of y'all said we needed to fire Chris Greer because he traded him. When Laramie Tunsil walked in the office, saw the trade on the board, and said, I would trade me for that. And y'all wanted to kill Chris Greer. But man, he needs to be fired. Stephen Ross needs to sell the team. And it keeps happening, y'all. But at what point do we stop and say, you know what? Greer is that dude. Greer is that guy, man. Shout out to Andres with the donation. Says, same people that said no trading back from 3 are content with us now being at 6. Stop falling in love with the players. They not Dolphins yet. Thank you. Thank you for giving us a recent scenario. Bro, we're not trading out of 3. You're delusional, man. What is wrong with you? That's why I don't watch you now. We got the number 3 pick. We can get a generational player. We are not trading that pick. We traded it, and look what we were able to do. And we still got all these options on the board where we traded it and picked up an additional first-round pick. We picked up an additional first-round pick, y'all. Oh, what is that? Got a color that I ain't never seen before. Oh, Vic with the big boy donation. Super sticker, 50 large, man. Appreciate you, Vic, as always, man. Salute to you, man. Man, Vic guy, I thought I had an error or something. Oh, what happened with the chat? I see an orange. That's what's up, man. Somebody said making TD rich. I know, man. I might be able to pay my light bill this month, man. Woo! Hold on, Vic. I use it. Now I can turn the wattage up. Ooh. See? Hey, y'all see how bright it is? Vic done turned the lights on, man. I'll be like this. I'll be like, man, you know, just in case the light bill too high, let me turn it down. Vic said, take your wife to dinner from my wife, sir. I definitely will, Vic, man. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. Look at EM. I see you, man. If you ain't busy, let me know, man. Let me know. Oh, my gosh, man. Love y'all, man. Everybody who do show love, though, and donate, man. It's greatly appreciated. Real talk, all right? Before I open up the floor and bring people backstage, let's go ahead and hit the last subject that we weren't able to hit earlier today. It was Byron Jones, what he had to say about Tua Tagovailoa and the expectations that he has. I thought it was interesting. Y'all give me a second. All right. All right, there we go. I'm just pulling it up, all right? I got you, EM. I'm about to drop the link, homie. Please, only those who have been invited backstage, all right? Only those who have been invited backstage right now. Once I open it up for everybody else, I'll let you know. Because I know I'm dropping the link, and some people come and they hold it hostage. All right, so Byron Jones did have an interview with Mike Florio and Chris Sims on PFT Live. Let me see here. Okay. Let me see where it is. Okay, here it is. All right, so Byron Jones said it's exciting. This team is comprised of a bunch of young guys, Jones said. Obviously, he's going into his second year. What we saw last year was great from him, but we expect a big jump. Big jump, all right? The kid's been working. I know he's been working. He's been a great kid. Really good head on his shoulders. And that's the beauty of it. We're surrounded by a bunch of guys who want to be great again. So I'm looking forward to seeing him jump. His contributions to the team have been great so far, but we're looking for even something better this year. It's exciting. I can't wait to see him work his magic. Byron Jones got me excited. Byron Jones actually got me excited for the kid. I'm about to bring you on, EM. Give me a second, bro. Florida born, Kentucky grown with the donation said, much love, brother. Haven't been in a while. You are the first guy I started watching, even though we disagree on Tua. I have nothing but love. Nothing but love to you too, Florida born, man. But hey, you can disagree. Time always tells. All right. All right. But Byron Jones, I love what he said. He was honest in this, you know. He loved what Tua did last year. He loves where he's headed. And he believes he's putting in the work, and he can't wait to see him work the magic, you know. But he also said they expect a big jump. And a big jump we all should expect. We all should expect a big jump because we're going to need it if we're going to get to the promised land where we really want to be. We're really going to need it. Lastly, before I bring EM in, you know what I do like the way our team is constructed? We're not making it easy on Tua. And I like that in the sense that he has to go against a good secondary in practice every day. And I like that. That should make him sharper and stronger, man. And because I don't want my quarterback going against a powder puff defense, and then whenever they get into real games and they play a real defense, they look like trash. I love that we have the ability to challenge him every single day in practice with the looks we give and all, because our defense, we have some really good guys out there playing, and he has to make detailed decisions, fast decisions, and have to put that ball where it needs to be with this secondary. That's nothing but a plus for him to be able to practice in that. That's invaluable experience, y'all. You're not going to get that anywhere else. So I'm appreciative of that. What's up, EM, man? I think you're muted. Oh, there you at. There you go. What's up, man?
What's going on, bro?
I'm good, man. Oh, this sound like EM twin brother, the smart one. What's going on?
Yeah. Oh man, what's going on back on TD Foolish Talk, man? You know, it's always a pleasure. You
Here
know,
you go.
it's always a pleasure when I can come on here and bring this heat to you. You already know what it is.
Heat.
Shout out to everybody in the comments. Yeah,
Heat.
you already know. You know.
Come on, man. Get it together, man. Listen, let me ask you a few questions then to get this started.
What's up, man? What's going on?
So I know it's been quiet on the front, but what you think about the John Jenkins bringing him back in?
Do you really have to ask me that question?
People might want to hear your thoughts.
Oh, bro, we shouldn't. You know, I said that. You know, in 2019, we should never have gotten rid of him. I understand. I think at that time, you know, in 2019, we were more in a a rebuilding, a reset phase. And I get his age might not, may not have fit that blueprint, but I'm elated the fact that they went and opted to bring him back this year because, I said that, you go back, the tape is out there. I thought our 2 moves that I thought we need to make for our defense to go to another level. And it was either to identify a true zero technique in the middle of this defense that can consistently eat up double teams and plug that A gap, or bring in another 3 technique to free up Emmanuel Ogbah. Either of those scenarios ensures, in my opinion, and I could be wrong and off base, that I think in 2021 we're going to see Emmanuel Ogbah being deployed in a primary edge role, and I think that benefits. I think he's that kind of player. Obviously, that's going to give him more opportunities to impact the passing game and quarterbacks on first and second down, as opposed to being an interior player. So I love the move. It helps our defense on many levels. The player himself, I think he's still playing at a high level. I love this move. Absolutely love it. So I can't wait to see him, in September.
Yeah, I think he's going to add, especially with the linebacker from Houston we brought in. We're really kind of
absolutely.
I think we've really glued up the run game now. But what is this defense missing now?
Missing, I would say maybe depth on the edge. If you're going to say we're missing something, and I think this draft is perfect. If you're a 3-4 team, you have a lot of players that fit that stand up 3-4 outside linebacker role. If you're the Dolphins, a lot of them, the athletic profiles, there's several. There's about 4 or 5 players that I think that would be ideal just from an athletic profile standpoint, but that the Dolphins could target, maybe not necessarily in the first round, but later in the second, in addition, as well as the third. So I think depth, if there is a hole per se, it would be, I think, from a depth standpoint on the edge. But other than that, I think this roster, I think this defense is very strong, TD. We talked about this privately. I think this defense is strong, bro. I truly believe that. I think we can see a more improved version of what we saw last year. I truly believe that.
So when we come from last year, I want to play a quick game with you, if you don't mind. Last year, rank our defense on a scale of 1 to 10 holistically all together with all the elements of it, injuries and everything combined. What do you give our defense as a grade on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best?
I would give us an 8. And again, The reason why I think obviously the secondary was a strength of ours last year. I think we were somewhat deficient in terms of run defense. This is why I'm so excited to see this better version, because I think we've improved dramatically from a run defense standpoint. I think, personnel wise, with the addition of Bendart McKinney as well as John Jenkins, but also another year of development for Raekwon Davis, another year of development for Christian Wilkins, Zach Sealer, ball games boy Andrew Van Ginkel. So I think I'll give him an 8 last year, but I think I think this year we are primed. We're set to improve upon that 8 to go to 9, perhaps. I truly believe it, bro.
I was just going to ask you that, and I know you say we're primed to go to a 9, but if you had to give us a number right now, and I know you don't like to do this, but just for the game's sake, with the addition that we made in the linebacking core and the interior D line, have we automatically improved, and what grade would you give us, or remain the same or decline? Losing Devon Godchow, but also bringing in 2 guys.
No, I think we upgraded tremendously, TD. We hadn't played a snap yet in 2021. And I think on paper, we've improved from a run defense standpoint. And again, I think if your improvement up front in your front 7, that's just going to benefit the back end even more. So, absolutely. We've improved significantly. We haven't even taken a snap yet.
So what'd you give us?
I would say I would say, man, you put me on the spot, bro. Come on, man.
You had us at an 8
I,
last year. Just throw something
I
out.
I will say right now, because I don't want to sound like I'm sleeping in my homer hat, but I would say we're at a mm, minimum 8.5 to 9. Minimum 8.5, I would say. But I think we're
8.75. Fair.
yeah, 8.75. Yeah, absolutely.
So let me ask you this. With the different additions we made in free agency, you probably give it a 0.75 increase in our overall score on the defense. What do we need to like? Is there a specific or a combination of players in the draft that can get us over a 9 instantly?
I don't
And
think so.
that's tough because instantly means there'll be a starter
They're going to be a
replacement
starter.
for him.
No, I don't believe there's a player in this draft from a defensive standpoint, from an edge, okay, from a secondary standpoint. I would say maybe now we're talking about from a base perspective.
Mm-hmm.
If there is somewhat of a weak, Jerome Baker is still a question mark in my opinion, and I think when you're talking about the interior linebacker next to Bedard McKinney, that's somewhat of a question mark. So I think if you would get in a Zavin Collins, a Micah Parsons in
Mm-hmm.
particular, for me, because
Mm-hmm.
he can give you everything Jerome Baker can give you from an athlete. He's twice the athlete Jerome Baker is, but I think
Yeah.
he's more instinctive. I think he's more, he plays through traffic better from an interior standpoint than what Jerome Baker has ever done. Now,
I
Jerome
think
Baker
he's
might
he's
improve.
he's built for
Jerome,
more physicality.
right, exactly. He's a heavier player, stronger player, his upper body than what Jerome Baker is. So I think if you would get a player like Parsons, oh my God, I mean, now you're getting into Madden Ultimate Team numbers, which is what you love. We're not but we're not going to go there. But yeah, a player like that, Zavin Collins, would be an upgrade as well. But I don't think obviously he's not. I don't think he's not the athlete Jerome Baker is. So I don't think he would give you what Jerome Baker give you in terms of like coverage, maybe. But I could be wrong. But I think Parsons is what he can give you everything. He's complete from an athletic standpoint.
So
So,
we should
but
go into
if
this season feeling great about this defense.
absolutely, and Jerome Baker might improve in that area of his game that he's been weak in. He might
But
do
do
that.
you think that's going to happen? I mean, it's been 3 years, bro. It's been
Well,
3 years.
they took him out of. They changed his role last year. I think midway, not a little less than midway through the season, and his
About
role was
5 games in.
yeah, it was more complimentary, and we saw the immediate improvement once they did that. Because I just don't think that's his game. But that I don't think that'll ever be the strength of his game because I don't think he's instinctive enough to be deployed primarily from into. He's more complimentary, and they switched his role up. They had him blitzing more. Primarily, they had him they had him focus more on coverage. So, but who's to say that Jerome Baker he improved in those areas because he was deficient, in his first 3 years. I never, me, I've been the biggest Jerome Baker critic in this community from day one. But I never thought I
Well,
would see.
well, hater,
I
but
never.
go ahead.
Yeah, okay. I never thought I would see the improvement and the growth that I saw just based off when last year. So who's to
But
say that he won't?
I don't personally feel like it was improvement. I just think that they put him in positions that he can actually do well. But he
Well,
didn't
that's
improve in those other areas where you would need a true guy to actually do
well,
that and have all
well,
those facets of his game.
well. That's the point, TD. You don't need him to do that. That's why you go get Bedard McKinney. You don't need him to do that.
I get it. I get
That's
it.
why. That's why you bring in McKinney and you re-sign to Landon Roberts to do the dirty
But
work.
I guess what I'm saying is you're right. We built the team to where we can hide his weakness and it's fine because we have somebody to play that
Mm-hmm.
role. But
Mm-hmm.
that still speaks to Jerome Baker, the fact that we had to do that.
Well, yeah, you can look at it that way. Yeah, sure, but you got production from him.
Yeah, don't. Yeah, I
You
know.
got production from him in that. Again, this team is all about roles, bro. There's no what. Maybe exception of McKinney, but in terms of interior players, they
Mm-hmm.
brought in specialists, guys that are not complete. Their games are incomplete, but they can provide a
Situational.
specific role for you situationally. And Jerome Baker, that's just in my opinion, he's just never going to be a complete guy. And I could be wrong. I
I
hope I'm wrong,
I just
but
always get nervous with those. I get nervous with that approach because I hate for us to get in the playoffs and then we're dealing with a team that's running a hurry up offense 80% of the game just because
I
of
hear
that.
you. I
Because
hear you.
teams know that we're coming in to fit what you're bringing in. What package you got in? All right, give me this package.
Mhm.
We're countering all game.
But those complete players are hard to find. TD,
I agree. I
they're
agree. I'm
extremely
just saying,
difficult to find.
is Micah Parsons a complete player?
From a physical standpoint, absolutely.
Well,
There's
that's all
nothing.
I'm saying.
There's
That's
nothing
all I'm saying.
physically. Oh yeah.
We
Generally,
have an
those guys.
opportunity
Yeah,
to
that's true.
replace a
That's
guy
true.
with a complete player. That's
That's
all.
true.
Because the more people you can replace with a complete player, the less you're having to have specialists. Specialists can be
Hmm.
beautiful, but it can be dangerous.
This is true.
It can
This
be
is true.
dangerous, and I like it. But and then on top of it, you're relying on good health through the whole core of it.
Mm.
Because
That's
the
true.
more specialists you have, the more bodies you need on the roster. And then when one get hurt, it's like,
I mean, that's a legitimate concern, but you know, again, that's why I think, Jerome Baker might take a significant leap. Him being able to diagnose, him being able to play through traffic, him being able to successfully engage and disengage blocks, he might improve. He might. Let's hope. Let's hope. Flores, and again, just to get this kind of production out of Jerome Baker, to
stop.
me, I gotta tip my hat to Brian Flores.
No, and I get that. Don't get me wrong. They got him playing at a high level for what they need him to do, or what they want him to do because he can't give them what they need.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but come on, bro. Do you feel like he's gonna take a whole nother step and be that guy that's going through blocks and
No,
leveraging himself the
no,
right way
no,
in the
no, no,
point of
no,
attack?
no, no. But all you need him to do is get incrementally better. He's not going to be Ray Lewis, bro. That's not going to happen. It's just not Jerome Baker. But if he's just getting marginally better to where when he's out on the field, okay, offenses, when they see Jerome Baker on the field, they're going to be more inclined to run his way. If he can just get better, just marginally better, you know what I mean? Nobody's asking him to be the player McKinney is in terms of diagnosing, attacking and successfully taking on blocks. Nobody's going to ask him to be that player to that level. But just get marginally better. Just don't be a liability. And
Yeah,
I think Jerome Baker can do that. Hopefully he
he'll
can.
be he'll be successful. But it's just
So
in a role. And here's the deal: people that really don't know football, they're gonna see his success, but they're not gonna realize what he's limited to, though.
yeah,
And that can
he's
play a
yeah
role long term.
he's I've been pointing his limitations out since day one. Yeah, he's but again, coaches, if you're a coach from a coaching perspective, your job is to highlight your players' strengths and master deficiencies. But again, I think the addition of McKinney will go a long way to doing that because you're not giving. And again, Jerome Baker, you remember the start of the year last year, he was the primary signal caller. He was the
Yeah,
centerpiece in the middle of this defense. And you saw how
Flores
that worked out.
is my boy.
And you saw how that worked out. They quickly identified there was a problem there and they made the change. So, but again, like I said, put him in a role that he's in now. He flourished in last year. Put him in situations where he's not a liability. Jerome Baker will be fine. But if you get a more complete player like Parsons that's twice the athlete he is, it's a win-win, bro. This
All
defense
right, man.
overall would take a significant leap.
I'm proud of where we are defensively. I want to switch over to offense, and I want to start by asking you: are you concerned? Do you have any concern? Because I'm very concerned. Nobody's talking about it. No one seems to care. But we don't have a viable. We don't have a viable tight end under contract next year.
Oh, I thought you were going in a different direction. My bad. Sorry.
No, we'll get to
But go
Tua
ahead.
being a bum
I'm
later.
sure that's coming. I'm sure that's coming. But
But we don't have a viable tight end. Durham Smith is a free agent. Gesicki, it will be a restricted free agent. I mean, does that not concern you at all that we don't have a single tight end, a viable tight end under contract next year, especially given the fact that we'd either have to offer Gesicki a real good deal or he could basically bet on himself and hit the open market and get more money?
Concern? No, I'm not at the level of concern now. Not now. That'll change.
So you're gonna wait until the 12th hour?
Well, I don't. You know, to be honest with you, TD, I don't think that Gesicki, and that wouldn't be my approach. But I don't think Gesicki's in their long-term plans. I don't think he's in a long-term blueprint. I don't think that. They quickly re-signed Adam Shaheen. And people are sleeping on Adam Shaheen as well. I think Shaheen is a good player. Is he the athlete that Gesicki is? Maybe not. He's definitely not the athlete Kyle Pitts is. But all around, I think Shaheen is a good player. So
I want to use a different word for Shaheen because I don't even want to give him good. He's a sound player.
Solid player.
Yeah, but that's not getting it done in today's NFL, bro. With the young quarterback who needs a safety blanket. Shaheen ain't doing nothing across the middle. He ain't making. Come on, bro.
Shaheen is an underrated athlete, in my opinion.
Catches slip screens all day.
Okay. You forget, though, he was a second-round pick, TD.
Now, yeah, I get it. But at the same time. He's a
second-round pick. If he's measurable from an athletic standpoint, he's a 4'6" guy, if I'm not mistaken. So from an athletic standpoint, the traits, he's got the size, ideal size. Again, he's not the player Mike Gesicki. He's not the dynamic playmaker Mike Gesicki is. And I'm not saying I will be comfortable with him going into the season as our number one primary tight end. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is he's more complete than Mike Gesicki in terms of the run game and the passing game. And I think Gesicki, he's still a one-dimensional player relatively, and I just don't think the Dolphins are
high on him.
Well, I don't think he's in their long-term blueprint. I just don't.
I just think that they understand all of his limitations and feel like he's just a athlete making some plays, but not playing the game of football in its entirety of what the position requires. Like he's a specialty weapon.
A lot, and if you look at the approach that the Dolphins have taken for players that they deem, that they want, that are in their short, their short-term game plans. You look at how they got out ahead in terms of contracts. Look at how they got out ahead of Devontae Parker, Xavier Howard. Let's see, Adam Shaheen. The list, Bobby McCain's of the world. Eric Rose of the world. The Dolphins were preemptive in terms of their getting out ahead of and negotiating contracts. They've done nothing with Mike Gesicki.
So you're telling me Mike Gesicki, Jerome Baker, these guys are like
yeah. I think Jerome Baker is another one too. I don't think the Dolphins are going to make that kind of investment with Jerome Baker. I don't think. And again, they're one dimension. Both of them are obviously they play different positions, but they're both relative to their position. They're both one-dimensional players at this point. And the Dolphins all are about versatility. The more things you can do for us, the more we'll be more inclined to make a long-term investment in you. And it's what it is. I mean, I'm just going by trends. I look at their approach, how they are in terms of contract negotiations. They've been, in terms of, we've heard nothing. And not to say that they might, they might not entertain.
Oh, they'll make an offer, but it's definitely going to be a team.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. It's going to be on their terms. It's going to be their numbers. So, but if you're Mike Gesicki, you look at his production. I mean, from a production standpoint, I mean, he's giving you top five. You know,
He's right
eh,
there with Hunter Henry, and Hunter Henry
yeah,
just got
yeah, yeah, yeah,
12.5.
yeah. He's giving you that type of production. So if you're Mike Gesicki, why would you want to take a lesser deal? And again, this is his first time to cash in. He's a second round pick. So they would entertain bringing him in, but at their at their price point. So
And what's
just
that
saying.
number?
I mean, again, I might be in the minority, but I like Gesicki. I like what he brings to this offense. So I'm not
But
down him. And
what you giving him per year?
mm,
You giving
I'm not.
Gesicki more than 8?
No, eight would be my
That's where
my
I have
limit.
him. That's where I have him too. That's what I think is
Yeah,
fair.
eight
But
would
in
be
the
my
open
limit.
market, he'll get 11.
Yeah, for sure, no
And
doubt.
that's the issue. That's the issue I feel like Miami's going to run into. The next offseason, we're going to be without a tight end. And unless we get Pitts this year.
TD, I think that as we're getting closer to the draft, I think Pitts is the player that the Dolphins covet the most. I believe that it took me a while to get warmed up with Kyle Pitts. To be honest with you, it's not that I was ever cold. I was ever down on him, but it took me a while listening to other people and listen to other people's evaluations and conducting my own research privately. Um, Man, I mean, what can you not like about this kid? So
See, my biggest thing on Pitts, bro. We understand the freakiest athleticism, the wingspan, can catch the ball, can run routes. That's all the sexy stuff. That's just plain out football. But what
mhm.
sells me the most on Pitts is he can create the most mismatches than any weapon I know in the NFL right now on the field because
in
he
the
can line
in the
out.
NFL,
Here's why. You name to me now. I mean, we have some, don't get me wrong, but come on. This guy can line up on the outside and be a mismatch on small corners. He can line up in the slot and be a mismatch for the nickels in other world. He can line up at the tight end position and abuse linebackers to the point that you have to game plan to where he is, which is going to allow everybody else to have a field day.
well, I'm gonna offer a little pushback. In terms of anointing him, saying he's the biggest mismatch, in the NFL. No, that's premature, bro. I'm not
No, no,
going
no,
there
no.
because
I get it. I get it.
I have to see him do it on the field. It's one thing to do
But
it in the SEC. It's a
I
whole
agree.
nother ballgame to do it in the NFL. So
I
with that being said, from an athletic standpoint, absolutely, I agree with in terms of the problems that he's going to cause opposing defense. I agree with that 100%. But again, it goes back to what I said. I think the Dolphins. I think that is the player who they covet the most. And if he's sitting there
who
at 6, I think the Dolphins are not going to hesitate.
who in the NFL right now can have that type can line up in all those positions and be
Darren
that
Waller.
and
It's
be
not.
that
It's
that
not very
impact.
many. It's not
But
very many.
is Darren Waller is he as athletic
Oh,
as Pitts?
yes,
You
as
you think
athletic.
you think he's as fast in his agility,
He's
being able to change
oh
directions
oh
and that quick and stuff?
Darren Waller. Absolutely, he's a converted wide receiver. He's a
No, no,
converted wide receiver, and he's a 4-4 guy as well. He's a 4-4 guy as
uh,
well. No,
his
Darren Waller
shiftiness.
is that dude, bro.
I know he's that dude, but I still question his shiftiness, man. I just he has a stride to himself and he has
The
hands and go up and get an ability. But as far as just navigating
well,
with routes, I don't know about that.
here's the difference. Here's the difference. Kyle Pitts is 250. I think Darren Waller goes about 230. So he's 20 pounds heavier than Darren Waller.
And still running the fofo.
Oh, absolutely. He's a freak, bro. There's no doubt. He's an absolute freak show. But yeah, Darren Waller can give you I don't think I don't think he's the blocker. And not to say that Pitts is Rob Gronkowski in the run game, but he's a competent blocker at this point. I don't think Darren Waller will ever be. But in terms of athleticism, yeah, he can give you, he's 6'4", 6'5". He might not give you the wingspan that he's not as long, I don't think, as Kyle Pitts is. But yeah, in terms of athleticism, is just pure speed. Yeah, he's there. He's a 4.4 guy as well.
So you think he's the guy at 6? If he's there.
Oh, absolutely. If he's there, yeah. I think so. Yeah, I would be, if we're sitting here in 2 weeks and he's sitting on a board and the Dolphins opt to go in a different direction, I'd be very, very, very surprised if they did that. So
why do you think so many people are out here saying that if Pitts and Smith are both on the board, the Dolphins are favored to take Smith?
Devontae Smith?
Yes.
Nah, bro. Well, I'm the wrong person to be asking about Devontae Smith. I do not want Devontae Smith in the top 10 of the 2021 NFL draft.
You have a problem with the kid?
I got a problem with his size. I truly do. I get this kid. He's a good player. He's his tape at times, is breathtaking. But doing it in the SEC and doing it in the NFL are two totally different things. The level of physicality at the NFL level, there's no comparison. And I just in the NFL, it's all about press coverage. It's all about press coverage. And if you cannot I use the Devontae Parker comparison when you're comparing him with Devontae Smith. And I'm just talking pure size now, right? The concerns I have. We saw Parker come into the league, and we see how imposing he was and is, right? If you remember early on in his career, what he struggled with the most, and that came out of his mouth, getting off the line of scrimmage consistently. And he is, from a physical standpoint, it's no comparison. Upper body strength, height, weight, the whole nine. So I just have a lot of reserve selecting a player with those dimensions in the top 10. It's a reason why they don't get picked in the top 10. And I get all the comparisons about Marvin Harrison and Chad Ochocinco's of the world and, Stephon Diggs of the world. The rebuttal I give, and I have to throw back at these individuals that bring these names up, the question I have to ask them, where were they picked in an NFL draft? 2nd, 3rd, 5th round? No, they were not picked in the top 10. And it's a reason why they don't, is because smaller players, they have difficulty. John Ross was the last one. In John Ross, from a speed standpoint, Devontae Parker is nowhere in John Ross's stratosphere. This dude was running 4.24 when he came out of Washington. I mean, almost set the record, combine record in terms of 40 time. Where has he been? He's considered in a lot of circles to be a bust. And this kid he's as fast as any player in the league. And so Devontae Parker, a player that doesn't have that elite dynamic speed like Jalen Waddle, that's why I'll be more inclined to make that investment with Jalen Waddle, because teams will fear him. Teams will fear him at this level, at the NFL level, because if they miss him, if you miss a player at the line of scrimmage, if he gets off the line of scrimmage and you miss him, you're not catching up to 4.27. If you miss if you miss a 4.5 guy, you can catch up. You can catch up to him. So I just don't. When you talk,
they say that Smith won a Heisman though, bro.
Okay, Desmond Howard won the Heisman.
Hey, okay. I'm just playing. I'm tired of hearing people say that.
Desmond Howard won the Heisman. So I'm not here. I'm sorry, bro. You're not going to convince me otherwise. Now, if he gets to the NFL and he proves me wrong, if he's in the Dolphins uniform, I will be the first one to issue a public apology. I don't have a problem with that. But I don't think the Dolphins are infatuated with him. I think the apple of their eye is Kyle Pitts 1, Jamar Chase 2. And I don't, to be honest with you, Chase, who I consider the most complete out of all of them, I don't even want to select him in the top 10. So I just don't think. And again, bro, Um, can you hear me, TD?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine.
Okay. So, but yeah, I just don't want to. I don't want to touch. I just have. And it's not real. It's not about him. That's just my approach to the draft. Period. I just don't like those. You know, selecting players that that are with those dimensions, bro. It's just
Man,
sorry. I'm
I
not
feel like
taking in
our
the
wide
top 10.
receiver room is already packed, man.
Yeah, it's definitely a log jam for sure. Um, so I think again, in from that perspective, TD, the move to make if you're the Dolphins, if Pitts is the move to make. I
Yeah.
know we have a low. I know we have. We go about three deep in terms of tight ends, but I mean, come on, you bring in Kyle Pitt, Durham Smythe is I mean, come on, you know, Durham Smythe will be on. I'll be issuing his ticket, at that point, sometime this summer. So,
You gonna hang
but
out with Josh Rosen?
yeah, with your boy, yeah, with your
Oh
boy.
my boy.
So, but nah, I'm sorry. I just don't want to. I will be more inclined to select Waddle because he can give you what I think he can give you everything Devontae Smith can give you, but he has that rare ability that puts the fear of God in defensive coordinators at night before game. Is that electrifying speed? Devontae Smith, in my opinion, doesn't have that. So we'll see.
Would you be willing? Because I posed this question, and I don't know if you were on the stream when I did. Washington football team is really considering trying to move up for a quarterback. Would you consider if Trey Lance is still on the board at 6, Miami Dolphins trading out with Washington to get um, 3 first rounders
Is it,
in a pair of seconds to move from
it,
19 to 6?
is that what they're saying? Is that what the word is?
Well, not with us, and that ain't the price. I'm just saying they are thinking about moving up because they need a quarterback of the future, and they like Trey Lance. And if he's on the board, they will make an attempt to potentially move up because Ryan Fitzpatrick is just the bridge, but they don't have nobody to sit behind the bridge, really.
Oh man, that's crazy. Oh my God. I mean, man, that is ridiculous
In the room,
compensation.
and the rumor is they would do it with Atlanta if they could. But I'm just saying, if Atlanta doesn't want to do it, is that something that Miami would consider if Trey Lance is still on the board? Is it something you would do? Get another big haul, and now we got the 18th and 19th pick this year in 2 seconds this year, and then we got 2 firsts next year in 2 seconds, and then the year after that we got 3 firsts in 2 seconds.
Mm. If I'm the Dolphins, TD, considering where we are, our overall roster, um, oh man, I would have to do that, bro, because I would love the addition of Kyle Pitts. Um, even even if the Dolphins opted to go with tackle, if they go, if they're that high on, I'm not as high, but if they are that high, if they are that sold on Jamar Chase, any of these players, oh man, even Kyle Pitts, bro, how do you turn that down if you're the Dolphins, bro?
I
You know
know.
what I mean? Considering where we are, you're healthy in terms of even if we don't select a wide receiver in this draft, I think we've got a lot of depth there. You know what I
And
mean?
it's more likely that Atlanta would do it because they are trying to actually get out of 4 because the owner says take the quarterback and the general manager saying, oh man, I'd rather trade out and build more assets and
Oh,
still get a player.
Arthur Blank is saying that he's instructing him to take a quarterback.
The owner, no, it's been on a consulting basis where the owner has said we need to find our quarterback for the future
Oh, that's
because Matty ain't got no more than 3 years, and he doesn't mind having a young, fresh guy sit behind him. But the general manager doesn't agree. He feels like Matt got at least 3 years, and they can do that next year or the year after. And right now, they can either pick or trade out. And he's more inclined to trade out of the pick. They've actually put the number 4 pick on the trading block. They came out last week. They're
yeah.
open
I
to
saw.
trade number 4, and they've made it known.
Mm. I mean, considering where you are overall, where your roster is, your record coming off of last year, I mean, how do you turn that down if you're the Dolphins, bro? I mean, we, even Kyle Pitts, if he's sitting there at 6, Sewell, Chase, all of these players who, people are high on. I mean, when you're comparing their impact to what that surplus of draft capital could potentially bring, oh man, again, I have to quit. There's no one player is going to have that kind of impact. Now you have to
To
hit on the
turn
picks.
that
You got
kind
to
of haul down.
right. Now you got to hit on those picks. You got to identify those and bring those players in and hit on those picks. But dang, man, that is in addition to what we already have.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be one thing if we're a 10-win team. I think we improved in the offseason. I think, we're going to be, I can see us, winning 2 more games, improving upon that 10-win total from last year. I mean, your roster is healthy. You've got your quarterback in place, for the most part. Tua is still a projection, but, we just got to give him time, and we'll see this year. We'll have a more firm assessment on where Tua Tagovailoa is in terms of development in 2021, or, if that other player down here in in Houston is on our roster or whatever. But man, how do you turn that down, bro? I don't see how you do that.
Yeah.
That is ridiculous value in addition to already what we have. I don't turn that down, bro. I make that move.
Interesting.
So
let me ask you a little sidebar. How many games will Jacoby Brissett play this year?
How many will he play?
Well, a better question: how many games will he play in?
Well, as we're talking right now, I can only foresee him getting in, and hopefully this is the case. But I only see him coming in mop-up duty. Hopefully we'll be in a position where we're up 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter, and you want to rest Tua at some point. And, you get him in to get some reps, but from that standpoint,
define mop-up
that
duty.
Is
because
it.
Some people define mop-up duty what Ryan Fitzpatrick did last year, too.
Man, come on, TD. Stop it. Stop that, bro. Stop it.
Hold on.
Here you go with that. See, now you revert back to TD foolish talk.
No. Okay, let me ask you this.
Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine. So if Jacoby Brissett, if Tua get bitched even one game for Jacoby Brissett to finish to try to win, what's your assessment?
From what do you mean? Are we gonna see Tua again, or is that
if Jacoby Brissett has to come in even one game to relieve Tua because things aren't going well, what's your thought?
I think this year, if Tua would have to be like Josh Rosen type tragic for them to make a move. I think to make a move of that magnitude. And if that's the case, if Jacoby comes in, we won't see Tua Tagovailoa again in a Dolphins uniform, because I think if he is that bad with the support they've given him, Tua is clearly not the answer. And I think the Dolphins will quickly move away from him in the 2022 offseason. So I think Tua is going to be given every opportunity to prove to the world, to the Dolphin universe, that he is the solution at that position, not only now, but for the foreseeable future. But I think only if he's pulled, again, he'd have to be out there looking like your boy Josh Rosen for the Dolphins to do that. And if that happens, we won't see him. We won't see him again.
Just Vic saying. Said, come on, TD, putting bad juju on this season with Tua. No way, my friend. Hey, Vic, but Jacoby Brissett might come light it up, man. He might come take us to the Super Bowl.
I happen to like Jacoby Brissett, but
me too.
Man. I think that was a very good and underrated pickup for the Dolphins, because, he can come in and he can win you games. He's won games in this league. So he's not a player that turn the ball over at an alarming rate. He's mobile. He's got that connection and familiarity with Brian Flores, so he knows what the expectation is from an schematic standpoint, you would think. So there's a lot to like with Jacoby Brissett, but no. The only way they pulled Tua, unless he is, again, he's tragic. He's Josh Rosen. Bad.
I'm just scared, bro. I'm scared that Jacoby Brissett gonna beat him out in camp, man. And Jacoby gonna be the starter, man.
Man, bro. And I'm gonna be honest with you. If that happens, man, that's a big. I gotta be honest with you. If we're sitting here in 2 months from now, 2 or 3 months from now, we're hearing that Jacoby Brissett is out playing Tua Tagovailoa in training camp. That's going to be a huge letdown for me, bro. I got to be honest with you. Huge.
Bro, I don't
anticipate that.
Jacoby Brissett start the season. I don't care what injury Tua got in practice or nothing. I don't want to hear it.
So we're clear because the haters, you know how they are. I am not anticipating Jacoby Brissett doing that, but if it does happen, that's a huge letdown for me, bro. I'm gonna be honest. But again, I will quickly, as long as the move produces wins, I will quickly move away from my personal feelings for Tua. I'm about production, and that's relative to every player on this roster. If you are not getting it done, they will get somebody in here that will. And again, I will feel some type of way initially, but I will quickly, as long as it produce results in terms of wins, I will quickly remove and move away from my feelings relative to Tua Tagovailoa. That's the difference between me and a lot of our fan base.
Somebody said no child of God would accept this conversation. Listen, why don't we just be smart? Why don't we just be smart and upgrade at the quarterback position and just draft Mac Jones at 6?
No, Tua, again, it ain't happening. Tua is too skilled.
Why don't we just get Mac Jones at 6, bro, and upgrade the position, man?
Tua is too skilled. He's too disciplined. Flores loves too many aspects about his game. He wants his quarterbacks to be somewhat conservative in being disciplined with the football. Tua already has that built into his game. That's built into his DNA. So
Mac Jones is better, bro.
Stop it. The only thing that Tua needs to do is to, again, he needs to acclimate, just like any rookie, acclimate to the NFL speed, develop that rapport with his skill position players, which he's doing now. We didn't get a chance to see that last year, TD. The kid was rehabbing just to get back on the field. That is extremely important.
What was he rehabbing?
He was rehabbing to get back on the field, to get healthy enough to get back on the field.
What was he rehabbing? His pinky finger, his thumb, his hip,
Stop.
His big toe. I'm just trying to figure out which one it was.
See, this is why I get extremely frustrated with you, bro. You go back to that TD foolish talk, and you get my blood pressure boiling, bro.
So why? Why does it bother you so much that Mac Jones better, bro? Why?
Stop it. Stop.
Why? Why does it bother you?
Because it's not true, bro. It's not true. It's not true.
All right, man. I'll leave it alone, man. I'm just trolling.
It's not true. So, however, though, there's a lot to like with Mac Jones fundamentally. I like a lot. I like a lot. Fundamentally, there's a lot to like about Mac Jones. Now, he's just not the athlete. He doesn't look the part. When he takes his shirt off, he ain't ripped up like Cam Newton, like, Trey Lance and all these other guys, Justin Fields. He doesn't have the biggest arm.
I think he's going to be the next Brady.
Okay. Well, maybe. Let's hope not, because I don't want to see
him. Why?
Because definitely I don't want to see him in New England if he turns out to be the next Brady, because I'm still having nightmares from, what we've seen.
What do you think they're going to do? What do you think they're going to do about the quarterback situation?
I think they're going to play the board. And if one of those guys fall to him, I would think, you know, I think Bill Belichick I think quarterback would be in play for them. Um, Matt Jones, though, again, there's a lot to like with Mac Jones from the neck up. He's accurate. He's he didn't have the biggest arm. He's accurate. He can process. Um, Good ball placement, sound mechanically. There's a lot to like with him, but he's just not the imposing athlete as these other guys, and that's just the nature of the NFL draft, bro. The imposing athletes generally, no matter what position, generally get pushed up draft boards. So that's why you
Yeah.
have a Tom Brady slide to the 6th round. That's why you have a Drew Brees slide to the 2nd round. You have a Russell Wilson slide to the 3rd round. So that's just the nature of the draft. But is he number one on my board? No, not at all. Because physical traits are a big part of the NFL game, bro. We saw that with Justin Herbert last year. There was no way you could convince me that Herbert was, that much further along in the process from a mental standpoint than Tua or Joe Burrow. What you saw on tape was that imposing athleticism jumping off your TV screen. So, but physical traits are huge. But Mac Jones, he's just not that athlete. And again, those players generally get pushed down draft boards. So, but again, it's about the coach philosophically, what their priorities are. And, just traditionally, if you look at schematically what, New England's priorities are, he would fit that, he would fit that criteria. So, but, but he's not better than Tua. You need to stop.
Quick question, shifting gears real quick because I haven't heard your take on this yet. All right, so what are you doing at 18, and what are some viable options?
Man,
that's hard for me, bro. I haven't legitimately answered that question yet because I don't have an answer for anyone.
You know what, TD? To be honest with you, bro, I really don't either. I'm good. There's so many directions the Dolphins can go in. I want them to stay away from running back in the 1st round.
Me too.
That's
I'm like, do you go edge? Do you go guard? Do you know what I mean?
Well, oh man, it's so, bro. That's it's a tough one because I think there's
Mac
several.
Jones?
Whatever. There's several edge players. Again, what we need is depth, and there's several players that I like a lot from an edge standpoint that we could get in the 2nd round. So I don't think that will warrant a 1st round investment. So I want them to stay away from running back. That's just my philosophy. It's not an indictment on the players that are available at that position, but that's just my approach.
You don't value them just like the league doesn't anymore.
No, and I don't think Brian Flores, and if you go by his approach, the approach they take with their running backs, it's a running back by committee approach. And if that is ingrained in your DNA from a coaching standpoint, why would you make a 1st round investment on a player, that's not going to, get 300 carries in a year? So it makes no sense. The value isn't there. That's why teams don't generally don't make those kind of investments unless you get just as, freak athlete, Saquon Barkley's of the world and, those kind of players. But again, but I will say this, though, the Dolphins are in a position with the additional capital, and the overall health of the roster, there aren't any glaring holes on this roster, not glaring. And again, I might be in a minority, but I happen to like I love Myles Gaskins and I like Salvin Ahmed. Now there's, after those two, there's a significant drop off in my opinion. But again, if you're going to have that approach, why would you make an investment on in the 1st round on a running back? That 2nd round.
A lot of people are saying, just like they're saying right now in the comment section, the disrespect on running backs. At running back, you guys get a guy for the low for 5 years. See, and I think it's a philosophy on running backs. I just feel like it's one of the most dependent positions where you need run lanes, you need good blocking, you need, there's so many dependent situations. And I must say the reason why I'm not high on running backs like I used to be is because Jerry Jones taught me a lesson on that and what he did with the Dallas Cowboys. He was able to, in a 6-year stint, have 5 different running backs that all rushed over 1,000, 1,400 yards almost. And every time he switched a running back, the crowd, the fan base cried about it, and he told them to shut up. A Mack truck can run through this line, and it taught me a lesson. And the league doesn't value running backs like that anymore because every year, if you got a good old line, they're going to be productive.
Yeah, and also, you know, that cliff at that position generally is about what, 28?
Yeah, that
Running backs,
too.
that so from a first round perspective, the value is not there. You making a first round pick, bro. You want that player to,
Retire.
yeah, pretty much. So again, and then it's all about the approach of the coach. If you want a bell cow, if your offense is designed for one bell cow guy, well, that's different. Okay, well, yeah, because you can justify taking a player that high because again, you're going to use him, you're going to get the most out of that pick. But if you have a platooned approach using 2, 3 guys, bro, the value just doesn't add up for me to make that kind of investment in the first round. So, but and even maybe even in the second round, just depends on the player. But from that standpoint, I want them to stay away from running back in the first round. But if they are to select, if they do, I'm not going to be upset if they select a running back at 18. But my preference would be Travis Etienne. That's that's the one I would take as opposed to these other guys. I just think what he offers from an athletic standpoint, he's the most dynamic athlete relative to the first round guys, Javonte Williams and Najee Harris. I get a lot of people are down on him because of the season he had this year, but I attribute reason why we didn't see him. If you go back and look at his body of work, TD, it's
Who's that again?
ridiculous. What Travis Etienne. If you
Okay.
look at his body of work, comparing his 3 years to Najee and these other players, it's not even close. I mean, not even close. He's, again, he's not what he might not be from a size standpoint because everybody wants that, that power back. And I get it and I understand. And I do agree. We have a lot of guys that are similar, and pretty much what we're missing is that 230-pound guy. But I think ETN, in terms of running between the tackles, third and ones, I have no doubt he's gonna stick his head in that hole and get those third and ones, third and shorts type situation, and he will consistently be able to run between the tackles. I think he bulked up to 215, and the guy was clocked at a 4.4 flat. So this narrative about him, his lack of vision, stop. This kid's body of work. If you go back and look at 2018 and 2019, bro, it's special stuff, bro. I mean, this dude, I think in 2019, he averaged over 8 yards a carry, something like that, and 7 yards the year before that. 1,600 yards, 1,500 yards. It's ridiculous. And when you look at him when you look at him on film in the passing game, that's what's the most impressive thing. This kid actually runs wide receiver routes. I mean, you can see him. I've seen him run sluggo routes. You know what I'm saying? From a running back, he's got that dynamic athleticism. I just think he's the most complete out of these guys in this draft. And the Dolphins opted not to make a early investment last year because, in my opinion, because he went back to Clemson last. He should have came out last year. He'd have been a consistent number one guy last year, in my opinion. But he opted to go back, and that might have been a mistake because people are killing him because they didn't get the production out of him that they did the previous 2 years. They're thinking this kid automatically he fell off a cliff. Stop it. This kid is dynamic. He can give you, he can just do things on a football field that these other guys can't because they're not the athlete he is. So in my opinion, if I want to stay away from any running back in the first round, but if I'm pigeonholed into I have to select a guy, it would be him, in my opinion.
So he's better than Najee Harris for you.
I think he is, bro. One thing about Najee is his age. He's 20. He'll be 24, I think, once the season starts. So he's 20. That's 2 years older than this kid.
He'll be 24.
24. Yep.
I didn't realize that.
If I'm not mistaken, if I'm wrong, somebody please correct me. But yeah, he'll be 24. So, but
Najee Harris would be 24.
Yep. 23 or 24, one of the two. Look at it. Make sure you fact check me on that. I think it's 23 or 24. Definitely 23, I know. So, not an indictment on Najee. I like Najee, but I just would prefer ETN, bro. I just think versatility, he gives you everything. You know how they are. And not to say that Najee is not versatile. It's just that I don't think he just, this kid just moves different, than him.
Nah, he just turned 23 last month.
Okay, 23. Okay.
So he'll play a full season at the age 23.
Okay. So again, no disrespect to Najee Harris. Love the kid. I would not love him, but I don't love any of these running backs in the first round.
That's the scary thing, though, because you do make a valid point. Right now, it's almost like the shelf life for a running back is about 28 years old. You'd be getting this guy fresh through his rookie contract, and then you have to invest in him long term after that too, which is scary in itself.
Yeah.
So that's interesting.
But again, it's not an indictment on his ability. I just think ETN is the most complete out of all of them. I think if ETN has another season that he had the previous 2 years, this conversation is not even close. So, like him, man, like what he brings. So,
I don't know why we don't just bring back Balazs.
So,
hey, quick question for you, man. Can you give me your assessment of the O-line right now? Because we're in a tough situation because a lot of people feel like, oh, we need to get a tackle, we need to do this, we need to do that, but I think they fail to realize we're just a young line that has to grow and develop. But if we do need anything, it's a center.
Yeah.
What about your assessment overall of the line?
I would agree. I think center, if there's a glaring hole, center is it. I hadn't seen Michael Dieter. So Matt Skura, he's been a productive player at Baltimore. And I think the Dolphins, when I look at, like, when we talk about the O-line, what the Dolphins seem to be trying to assemble, I think the Ravens the Ravens have the blueprint of the type of not only philosophic, schematic approach, but athletic profile-wise as well. I think what the Baltimore Ravens have built there, I think the Dolphins are trying to replicate a lot of that. I think if you look at their offensive approach, a lot of play action based, a lot of RPO based, everything predicated off the run game. And I think, again, Flores wants to replicate a lot of that. And so the O-line, now, again, I know a lot of people are banging the table for Penei Sewell, and, some people are, they want us to address right tackle. Okay, I understand that. I'm not going to kill you for that. That's your opinion. But at the end of the day, you got to ask yourself, okay, Robert Hunt, in my opinion, second half of the season, I think we saw improvement from him. Okay, I think he improved in a run game as well as a passing game. And I think the Dolphins' primary approach is to establish that gap power, physical, run-based running game. And Robert Hunt fits that. I mean, he could do that at right tackle, right guard as well. But I think the Dolphins saw enough growth from him to warrant that further investment and them not be so inclined to pull the trigger on a tackle this year. I think they're going to continue their investment in him as well as Austin Jackson. Wait,
hold on. Right tackle, you said they'll do what?
I think they're going to continue to invest in Robert Hunt.
Okay.
They're going to continue to develop him. I think they like both of their tackles. So,
but then they've moved Hunt around though. So which one do we think they favor him at? Guard or
no? Where'd they move Hunt? Hunt has been developed at the tackle position.
Hold on. I'm sorry. I keep on thinking about Kenley. Excuse me.
Yeah, Kenley was the one moved, but
yeah.
No, right. And again, when it was time to move Robert Hunt inside last year when Eric Flowers went down, right? When Eric
They
Flowers got
had the
hurt,
chance to, and they didn't, which
and they
means they
did not.
want him
They
at the right tackle
continued to
position.
develop him at right tackle. That was the
I
time to move
agree.
him.
Nobody's
So,
talking about that, bro. Nobody's talking about
so
that because they keep crying about a right tackle, but they had an opportunity to kick Hunt into guard with
exactly,
Flowers situation, and they elected to keep Hunt
they
on
did
the
not do that.
outside.
They did not do that. So I think they saw enough from Robert Hunt to continue to develop him there. And I get, a lot of people like Sewell and Slater and, Verishaw, a lot of the other tackles that are coming out. But I don't think that's a glaring hole. I think the priority again, and I keep going back to this, is to establish that run game. Because if you establish the run game, everything that helps everything. It helps your pass protection. Obviously, it helps, your offense from, your ability to control the clock, helps you preserve your defense. The running game, the consistent. And one thing the Dolphins need to show more of is a commitment to it this year. And if they do that, that'll benefit the team overall in every single way. So if you're in third and short, right, you don't need a generational pass protector. You know what I mean? Because teams can't scheme you for the pass. They can't because they have to count for the run game. Because if you're third and short, you can pick up and move the chains just as easily in a passing game as you can in a run game. So again, look at the Baltimore Ravens. I use them as an example. Do they have generational athletes at either tackle position? No, they don't. The New England Patriots built a 20-year dynasty off C+ to B+ offensive players, a 20-year dynasty. Brian Flores
Especially on the line.
Brian Flores had a front row seat to witness that. And so I just don't think, again, I could be totally wrong, and I will not be upset if they opt to take a tackle, because that's just going to enhance what you have. You're building upon a strength, making a somewhat of a strength. Well, it's not a strength right now, but we have to let it develop. But it's strengthening what you have. It's stable. That'll go a long way to stabilizing things up front. But I just don't think they're going to do that. I think they think they're bigger priorities, they're bigger needs. So, but we'll see in 2 weeks. But I just don't see it. I don't see it. So, but either way, I think, like a lot of people are anticipating a significant leap in year 2 from Tua Tagovailoa, in which I am as well. But I'm anticipating a significant leap from all of our rookies. TD, a lot of them.
Yeah, but why people out here got to be hypocrites in that? I mean, they're one sided. They only see they want to increase. They want to give Tua time, but they don't want to give Robert Hunt time. They don't want to give. You see what I'm saying?
I agree 100%. People have agendas in place, and they want to look in terms of the court of public opinion. They want to look like they're the smartest guys, and around, and they're gonna die. They're gonna live and die with whatever what they've gone on a record of saying. Because again, but at the end of the day, man, I don't understand that, because it's the ultimate hypocritical approach. You're willing to give Tua, all the patience in the world to get up to speed and to develop and let this process of his acclimation play out, but you're not applying that to the these linemen. I don't understand that. Yeah, I agree with you 100%. And to me, to be honest with you, that's what gets my blood pressure up more than anything right now. Is when I hear that, I'm like, bro, that's so hypocritical. You really, and you saw improvement. Did Tua show enough to the world? Well, to me, did he show enough to where his job is just absolutely safe? No, that's just not the case. Did he show enough to want it for me and Brian Flores and his staff to build upon and to warrant a further? Yes, he did, but not to the point where you're just like, no, we're good at quarterback. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. So I think that same patience and optimism needs to be applied to these other players. Let the development process play out. And Brian Flores said, we all know he's about player development. He's about player development.
So what's your assessment on Noah Igbenogany this year? What do you expect?
Well, if if
Were you ever high on him in the first place?
Oh yeah. I love Noah's game. I think I think unfair, and I was criticizing him too when he got absolutely barbecued. In Buffalo. Stephon Diggs just absolutely cooked him. But you got to consider, I mean, man, a rookie thrown into that situation, and to be honest with you, we didn't know at that time because that was week 2 when we played Buffalo. But Stephon Diggs was the most dynamic wide receiver in the league last year, so he cooked everybody. So we need to be fair to Noah, but from a physical standpoint, Noah's got everything you want to be successful. He's got everything you want. So now, if Xavier Howard is on the roster and Byron Jones, I mean, he's going to be a depth player. I don't anticipate him beating out either one of those guys in training camp. If Xavier Howard or Byron Jones are on a roster, he'll be a depth player, but I look for him to contribute more and build upon what he established last year. So, but no, if Xavier Howard is not on the roster and he's dealt at some point, I think Noah can. I think with the improvement up front, I think with the improvement up front, I think with the improvement in the run game, and I think if we can consistently, make teams one-dimensional and keep them in third and longs, in more third and long situations than what we saw last year, that's going to benefit the secondary overall. Now, we won't. Now, will we see Xavier Howard? No, absolutely not. But if he's just a player to where he doesn't have the mental breakdowns that he had last year, to me, that's a win-win for Noah because his physical traits are there, bro. Very, very, very seldom are you going to see him getting dominated physically. It's the mental breakdowns is what concern me the most with him. But that's normal from a rookie, and especially being thrown in a situation like that when Byron Jones gets hurt or what the third player of the game, and they're automatically throwing him on the league's best wide receiver. So, but from that standpoint, I'm high on Noah Benogany. So we'll see, man.
Let me ask you a question about Tua Tagovailoa. If he plays,
here we go, man. Here we go. Really? Oh,
no,
it all goes back to Tua.
No, it's a good question.
Go ahead.
If he plays well enough to be, say, the 10th best ranked quarterback in the NFL, what's our ceiling this year?
If Tua is a top 10 quarterback?
Yeah, even number 10.
Oh, AFC Championship, bro. Yeah, I'm saying it. I'm going on the record now. If Tua winds up being a top 10 quarterback this year, AFC Championship game, you can book it. I'm telling you now, we're too strong defensively. You know what I mean? And again, he's lighting it up if he's top 10, bro. Top 10, TD, really?
No, it was just a question. It was just a question.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
And what is our ceiling if he's bottom 10?
Man, come on. Well, I don't anticipate him being bottom 10, bro. That's not happening.
Me either. But maybe 11, but go ahead.
Bottom 10, I mean.
He's ranked number 22nd in the league. What's our ceiling?
That was his ranking last year?
No, I'm saying if he is. I mean, I'm sure he was probably ranked number 28th.
No, he wasn't 28. I would say he's around 24 last year, I would think. I would say. But he went 6-3. And he was
Hold on. Back up.
What?
Name the quarterbacks you think were ranked lower than Tua Tagovailoa last year?
Here we go.
Oh, this is gonna be fun. Go ahead, and let's see if you can get past 5.
Bro,
come on, help me out. Nope,
you're catching me right now at a time when I've had a long day.
Wow! Don't tell me you backtracking. You running away from the question.
I hear Corona calling. Corona is calling me. And I had a long day, TD. So this is a lot.
Do y'all see this man backtracking?
Process right now, bro.
I want to try it. I want to see if you can get past 5 quarterbacks that played worse.
Give me a second.
There are some.
Jared Goff.
Okay.
Sam Darnold.
Okay.
Drew Lock. I would say Gardner Minshew. Well, I have to be a little higher on Gardner Minshew than
Yeah, I wouldn't agree with that.
let me retract that one. Hang on. Let me retract that. So we up to 3 now, right? We up to 3.
Yeah, Tua right now is the 29th best. It is ranked 29th until you keep on pushing them down.
Let me see.
Wentz, how did Wentz do?
Oh man, duh. Yeah, absolutely. He was the
28.
worst. He was the absolute
28.
worst. Dwayne Haskins.
Yeah, I was just gonna name but see, that's what's
now
tough
we're
though,
rolling
because
now. I told you.
no, we're not rolling, because the tough
We're
part
rolling,
is
man.
we're naming some QBs that play half a season, right?
Well, 2 only played 9 games.
Yeah, still 60% of the season. But I'm just saying, like their replacement though was playing better than them in some cases. Somebody said Fitzpatrick. Stop. Okay, let's just be fair. Let's just cut it in the middle. I say 28. You said 24. Let's just say he was the 26th. He was ranked 26th last year.
Well, okay, that's fine. Yeah, okay. But my point was being he won 9 games. I'm sorry, he won 6. He was 6-3 as a starter. And he was ranked in the bottom half of the league from 20 and beyond. I don't know where he ended up, but he ranked from 20 and beyond the bottom half of the league. So he went 6-3. Now, was 2 of the reason
the Dolphins went 6-3?
Well, okay, TD, but that's the thing, man. You can't have your cake and eat it too, bro. Just like y'all, you want to kill.
I'm not talking about record. I'm just talking about straight up player evaluation, bro. And the rankings don't go by the record.
Well, you asked me. Okay, well, record-wise, what was your initial question? I thought you were asking me what our record. What was our record going to be if he's bottom half of the league?
I just said if he's fourth quartile quarterback. He's 24. He's ranked 24th. What's our ceiling as a team?
He went 6-3 last year, ranked in that area. That's what he did.
So it's pretty much I'm saying that he's the same guy as he was last year. What is our ceiling?
10 wins. I can see 10 wins, bro.
This year with a tougher schedule.
Well, we don't know, bro. I don't go by. Teams change every single year.
I get it. Yeah, you're
teams
right.
Get stronger. Teams get weak. I don't buy into that. Oh, it's a tougher schedule. We don't know what them teams gonna look like come training camp and come opening day. We don't know that. Who thought Buffalo was gonna be the juggernaut they were this year? You know,
they weren't a juggernaut. They were trash.
Okay, well, they won the AFC East. Okay, yeah. Nobody thought. No one thought. I mean, there was plenty of surprises this year, bro. So I don't, I got to wait until I see it.
But they shouldn't have won the AFC East if we didn't lose like the Denver game or like.
I know what you're doing, but I know what you're doing. But you're right though. If we win the Denver game,
we in the playoffs.
I agree. I agree. There's no doubt. I'm not going to offer any rebuttal with that, but it's what it is. But no, so we're clear. I don't have as many reservations about Tua. And again, the only reason why I'm opting to move away from him is only if a player the caliber and age of Deshaun Watson becomes available. And we've never seen in the 100+ year history of the NFL We've never seen a player that age in his physical prime, that caliber of player come available. We've never seen it. So this is unprecedented. So no, that's the only reason why I would entertain moving away from Tua Tagovailoa. But anything less than that, no, because I believe in Tua's upside that much, and I just think he's going to be he's going to be extremely productive in this league. He's too skilled not to. In addition, in the support that they have given him, the support that they have given Tua this offseason, and hopefully off seasons to come, I just will be shocked. This would be one of my biggest surprises in terms of the NFL, as all the years that I've been following the NFL closely. If Tua falls flat on his face and is a bust,
I don't see it
as a quote unquote bum, like you said. I don't see that.
Nah, I mean, I be trolling, but I don't see that. I don't see it either. In all honesty, I don't see him falling on his face. He didn't fall on his face last year. He struggled in areas, and we had problems moving the ball at times, but a lot of that was him being reserved, and I think he opens up from that.
And could it be, TD, the lack of run support? See, people are discounting that. When you look at the better teams in the league, bro, they have balance.
No, I agree.
You look at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Look at the Baltimore Ravens of the world. Look at the Kansas City Chiefs of the world. Look at the Buffalo Bills. They have balance on offense, and this kid is a rookie. This kid is a rookie, and that's why I had so much. If you go back and check the tape, in 2009, the end of 2019, that offseason into 2020, why I had so much respect for what Ryan Fitzpatrick accomplished while he was our quarterback, was because he gave you that level of production without the benefit of a running game to lean on. People don't realize how difficult that is. And you listen to him and these other quarterbacks. You listen to these other quarterbacks, they'll tell you the best friend of a quarterback is the establishment of a run game. Tua, as a rookie, not having a complete offseason, had to rehab just to get physically healthy enough to get back on the field. He didn't have that, and the kid did not even fall. He did not fall on his face. He gave you a solid season, and when you put the tape on from a mental standpoint, he did a lot of positive things. And again, that's why the Dolphins are not in desperation mode in terms of moving away from him. They're not. They're only moving away from him for a player that's ranked no less than third at his position and only 2 years older. That's smart business. If you're the Dolphins, if a player comes available, that's the smart approach. Tua's not the player Deshaun Watson is. He might not ever be the dynamic playmaker that kid is because he's not the athlete he is. But that doesn't mean Tua is not going to have – he cannot be as impactful in other ways. I mean, is he going to be as impactful? I don't know. But he can still be extremely productive. Matt Ryan, when you look at him, I love Matt Ryan as a player. But when you think of the upper echelon quarterbacks in the league, nobody puts Matt Ryan in that category, but he's highly productive. He's been to a Super Bowl. He's been a freaking MVP of this league. And Tua has his game is very similar to Matt Ryan, in my opinion. And I think we can get that kind of production. Matt Ryan has been, every year he's been in the league, for the most part, he's been a top 10 guy. And that's all you need. That's all you can ask for a player at that position.
So now he just has to be that.
Yeah, Tua has to go out and do it. It's up to him now. There's no 2021 will get a more firm assessment of what kind of player Tua is, because if you look at the support that they are building and giving him now, there's no questions. There's no more excuses. There's none. There's none. He's in the best possible situation that any of these quarterbacks are in. Now he is. And it's just no question. And again, that's the approach any coach should take. If you want to really get the best assessment of a player, you want to give as much around him. You want to lighten his load as much as you possibly can, because you want to see what kind of player you have. And the Dolphins have taken this approach. I love it. But Tua still has to go out and prove it, though. He has to go out and do it, and I think he will. Now, is he going to elevate to the level of Deshaun Watson? More likely not, but he don't have to be. He doesn't have to, not in year two. So all these people that are not, they killed Tua because he didn't come out and have the season Justin Herbert had. Again, that's 1 year, and I got tremendous respect for what Justin Herbert accomplished and the player and the athlete he is. But I'm not going to sit here, oh, Herbert, just based off what I saw this year, he's going to be the better player 10, 15 years from now. No, that's irresponsible to do that. That's a casual fan's response to do that. No, we just got to let this situation play out. So if Tua comes out and has a better season than Herbert this year, so are you going to say Tua is going to be the better player in 15 years? No. You got to at least give it 3 years. So there's a lot to be encouraged about with Tua, bro, and you need to stop this foolishness, you and others, killing this kid when you
Ain't nobody killing him. Ain't nobody killing him.
When you contextualize everything that this kid had to deal with in this year. Come on, man.
Well, guess what? He always has an opportunity to prove me wrong.
And he will. And he is. And don't worry, I will be coming for you. You already know it, TD. I'm going to be coming for you as well as others when y'all get up there and y'all want to kill it. Y'all want to kill this kid. Just let it play out.
I'm just waiting. When he proves me wrong, I will proudly be happy that I was wrong. Because we all win if I'm wrong.
You know what I want to see? I want to see you foaming at the mouth, spitting everywhere, just like you were declaring Josh Rosen as our starter, driving around the highway, declaring him our franchise after 2 throws. I want to see that level of conviction.
Keep lying to people.
I want to see that level of conviction that you had for that flawed player.
About Mac Jones, maybe.
I hear you. Yeah, that's what I want to see to leave you alone. If you do that, I'm gonna leave you alone. You'll never hear my mouth, TD. You'll never hear no more criticism.
Hey, but he has to play good for me to do that, though.
Okay, well, time will, as you always, like to say, time will tell, man. Time is
always does. It always does, yeah. It always does.
And I will see if we're sitting here in 3 months and I'm not hearing the things that I want to hear from Tua. I will be so I'm consistent. I will be sitting here putting fire to his behind, just like I've consistently did for Josh Rosen.
No, don't put no fire. Just praise Jacoby Brissett.
No. I'll be the first one, bro, because you got to produce, bro, and that's just not Tua. That's any player. If Raekwon Davis, early on in the season this year, I see him getting moved off the line, off the point of attack like that, and just so easily moved off the point like he was early on last year, which caused the Dolphins to bench him. Oh, I'll be hot. I'll take the same approach with him, and that's any player. So, but I don't think that's going to happen now.
As always, man, this was another great one. I can't wait that we do so much more together, man. Some big things coming.
Absolutely.
Listen, man, any last thoughts? Because we coming up on the 2-hour mark. Any last thoughts you got?
2 hours already, bro? Man.
Hey, 1:57:30. So
well, Corona is calling. Corona is definitely calling for sure. So with that,
any last thoughts you got though?
Oh man, no man, it's just it's good to be back. I've been so busy, as you know, I've been busy here lately, and I've been able to hop up on these different platforms and here lately. But as we get closer to the draft, I'll be more active to try to offer a different perspective to our fan base, which is always my approach, but man, we got a lot to be. It's good to be in this situation, bro, to where we're dictating another draft. It's like the Dolphins are in another position to control things. And like I said, bro, we're sitting at 6. If they whatever player, Kyle Pitts, Jamar Chase, who they seem to be the most high on at wide receiver. I mean, Penei Sewell, Jalen Waddle, not Devontae Smith, but Jalen Waddle, Micah Parsons. Man, we're in a position to still get a blue chip talent that's going to help our team immediately. So that's the most encouraging thing. We can sit here and argue about, well, we should take this player, we should take that player. But at the end of the day, whichever the players that are available to us, if we opt to go in that direction, they're going to help us immediately. So that's very encouraging from a Dolphins fan. If you're a Dolphins fan, if you're a true Dolphins fan. And yeah, man, it's just good to be in this position. And I'm just looking forward to the draft, bro. And I can't get here soon enough because I'm sick of all this draft talk, to be honest with you. I'm just like, man, everybody keeps regurgitating and keep talking about the same old scenarios and the same old players and the same old evaluations. No, I'm ready for it to get here. Let's get in. Let's get into OTAs. Let's get into training camp and ultimately the preseason and ultimately the opening day. So it's what it is, man. I just can't get here.
I agree, man. I appreciate you coming through. I think this is going to be one of the highest anticipated seasons the Miami Dolphins have had in a long time. A lot of questions will be answered. I'll put it like that. A lot of questions will be answered this year, and I'm ready for it, man. And
I don't think I've been as excited for a season, TD. I don't think. All of my years of following the Dolphins closely, I don't think I get how juiced I get every year. Mm-hmm. But I'm telling you, man, I cannot wait for the season to get here. I cannot wait.
To be excited, man. I can't wait for these Sundays, the first kickoff, man. I'm here for it. Even preseason is going to be lit to me. So I can't wait, man. But we're gonna catch back up, man, real soon and do this again. Absolutely. I think we had our peak was almost 500 people watching, man. So they enjoyed the stream. We got almost 300 likes. So y'all punch that like button on your way out of here. This is
what? EM. Wait, really? Really? I'm shocked.
What happened?
I'm shocked. 300 likes, really? With EM Dolphin fan on the platform, really?
It's usually 1,000, so you're probably bringing it down.
Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah. No. I'm shocked because that I bring the haters out. It's all dislikes with EM Dolphin fan. You already know. There's a lot of people don't like things that I like to say.
The haters sleep right now.
My delivery either, so.
The haters sleep right now. I think I done watched the channel of a lot of the haters, man. I think I've done a good job watching the channel of the haters. But since I said that, some of them like, oh, where that dislike button? I forgot to hit it.
Yeah.
And they don't realize it actually helps the channel. I realized that. I didn't even know myself. But anyway, man, but I appreciate you as always, homie. Let's do this again real soon. And we got some big things coming in the near future, and we'll talk about those later with everybody. But fins up no matter what, y'all. We thank y'all for tuning in. TD, EM, at it again. We love y'all. See y'all soon. Peace. And shout out to Heat's fans said, TD, you think we should get a new logo change sooner or later? Nah, I like what we got. That between that and the old one.
Spurs up, baby. Spurs up.
I'm good with that. What up?
Spurs up, baby. Y'all know what time it is.
Spurs.
I don't want to hear no Heat talk. Spurs up, baby.
Oh no, everybody already know the Clippers are gonna win it all. Rondo. Man, I don't know who this Star Wars theory sucks guy is, but every message he writes keeps on getting grayed out, not by me, but by YouTube itself. They don't like the language that you're using and the negativity that you keep using towards the channel. So I'll just block you and help you put you out your misery. It amazes me that people come to hate instead of just not watch. There go the haters. You're right, EM.
Here we go.
Hey, you know why he mad, right? You know why he mad.
Why is that?
Oh, he called me out and said where the dislike. So my dislike don't mean nothing to him.
Yeah. Here we go.
They getting triggered now, man. They be in their feelings, man. But we love y'all haters. We love y'all. We ask y'all to come through frequently.
Don't lie. Don't tell that lie. I don't.
Hey, I appreciate them.
I love giving them the blues.
They validate that you're doing something that they can't do, though, bro.
Well, okay, whatever their motivation is, keep bringing it. I'm gonna keep giving them the blues.
Oh man, but we gonna let y'all get some sleep, including y'all haters, even though you're gonna be dreaming about us. So we'll see y'all soon. We out, y'all. Peace.